We've all experienced someone, maybe a buddy, maybe a sibling from our life that has had what we call cold feet before they get married. They're anxious, they're nervous, they don't like being the center of attention, they're nervous about the whole wedding, they're not sure they're really ready, or they question their choice, but it goes away, it dissipates as the celebration is going forward and they feel better. But some individuals get a phobia prior to marriage that is not like anything else. Actually, they have it for a long time, which prevents them from even getting close to marriage. And that phobia is called gamophobia. Gamophobia is when you are so terrified of getting married that even the thought of it makes you just cringe, like you try to avoid it, you don't want to go there. And believe me, with people being able to cohabitate, moving in and out of relationships, many of those people are misdiagnosed. We say, well, they have a fear of commitment, or they don't like the idea of being with someone else, they have attachment disorders, and all those things may be true. But gamophobia, any phobia, is different in that it sets off a panic alert. And these people are just, panic-stricken when they're talking about getting married. Now, what I want to preface this video with is this doesn't just happen. It is usually groomed in your childhood. You see things, and the way your body reacts, the way your mind reacts, you might be a highly sensitive, anxious person. Maybe you had some attachment stuff going on when you were growing up. Then the phobia is going to be more real for you, and it's going to look different than cold feet. So I want to talk first of all, about 3 common areas that go through a person with gamophobia's head, okay? A fear that they'll get divorced, that's the first one. A fear that they might experience infidelity, either with themselves or with their partner. A fear that they will fall out of love with their spouse. And this fear is so heightened that it's enough for them not to want to get married. Like they really resist it. They'll avoid the conversation, sometimes making their partner feel rejected. So this is how it plays out. They avoid any feature or talk about wedding plans. They worry about societal expectations. Like if they do sit down and have a talk with you about marriage, they'll tell all of their concerns are mostly based on what other people think. Well, I should get married, but I'm not sure I want to marry, and I should have a family. My parents are putting pressure on me. That compiles into the whole identity that they don't want to get married. They overanalyze the relationship. Where we might be able to say, yeah, they had a bad day that day, a person with gamophobia just dwells on it, goes over and over and over in their mind. They have an avoidance of celebrating relationship milestones, like an anniversary or the first time you went away for the weekend, or whatever it is that your partner wants to celebrate. You don't want to do that because that makes you feel cornered, and it sets off an anxious panic response for you. So the causes of gamophobia are varied. Okay, I told you basically 3 categories, but 4 stand out as having the largest impact. If you grew up in a bad marriage between your parents, or you had a past partner that hurt you deeply, you can be more prone to this. If you have apprehensions about your partner and the way that they talk to you, like, are they going to truly be faithful to you? And you can really get very anxious about this idea. What if they cheat? If you have divorce, any kind of a depression from the divorce that your parents had, or anxiety, or any mental health issues, these also can cause the gamophobia to worsen because, of course, they add more unpredictability and more fear of you not being confident enough to feel capable. Like, yes, I can do this. Like, I deserve to be happy. I deserve to be committed. These are things you will never hear in a person who has gamophobia because they basically can't even allow their mind to go there. So how do you get over it? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you with this particular phobia, you will need help, because whether you just do a full-on exposure and just, keep flooding the person as part of their therapy with weddings, going to weddings, you do need some outside guidance, some outside professional guidance. But mostly that therapist is going to help you pinpoint the exact causes. Like, what is the root of this phobia coming into your life now? Be upfront and honest with your partner. If you have it, be sure you reassure your partner, it's not you, it's me. It truly is me. And I know that's an old cliche, and people will say that when they don't mean it. But in this case, it's really true. Usually, if your partner's doing anything, they're being normal. They love you, they want to be close to you, and they want to celebrate the relationship. And all of those things just happen to be anxiety triggers for you. Check in with your own perfectionism mindset. Like, where did that come from? That everything had to be perfect? Because a fear of something going wrong can also be part of the problem with planning a wedding or even being involved in a close, intimate relationship, because relationships are messy. They're not meant to be in perfect order. Nobody's is. And when you put that kind of a mindset and those strict barriers around it, you're not going to be able to let that down and enjoy the closeness of another person. Work with a therapist, and also start going to marriage education classes, because I think a therapist is going to help you resolve the issues from the past. But you need marriage education, because a lot of people with gamophobia, they have just crazy ideas about expectations for marriage, and you can't take those into a relationship, especially a marriage, or you're going to basically ruin it. Because if your expectations are for a fairyland, you're going to get a rude awakening. Okay, this is a life choice, not a fairyland. And accept and adapt your mindset that marriage is about the journey, going together. Think of it more as a never-ending adventure. Nobody's is perfect. So I always tell people, every couple I know is a work in progress, myself included. So there will never be a finished you or a finished couple. When you adapt that mindset, it makes it much clearer to see, okay, we're both on an adventure. We're both experimenting. We don't know what we're doing, and that's okay. And actually, not only is that okay, that's ideal for getting married, because it makes you more of a team. You can figure it out together. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.